Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Neighbors. Today we're sitting down with someone who brings beauty, energy, and heart to everything that she does. Sharon Bates, the founder and force behind Tangles Hair Salon and Spa, and the cover of August Neighbor paper. Sharon opened Tangles when she was just 19 years old. Fast forward 20 plus years later, and it's become an award-winning salon, a community hub, and a symbol of what happens when passion meets purpose. She's a go-getter, a giver, and a gray hair guru. Seriously, if you're trying to decide whether to blend it, cover it, or go with it, she's the one to call. From organizing the East Gwillimbury Women's Show to donating over $100,000 to Southlake Hospital, Sharon's impact goes way beyond hair. She's on the cover of the next Neighbor paper, and today we get to hear her story. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. That was quite the intro. Thank you.
I love it. So let's start like early days, right? You've been coloring hair for a long time. Do you remember who your very first client was?
Oh. My dad and my mom were helping me set up still. We were still organizing and not quite open. And an ex-boyfriend had walked in and didn't know it was my salon and said, "Hey, can I have a haircut?" And my dad was like, go, do it, your first one. And I remember the first few cuts, you're like, oh, they're actually going to pay me? Yeah. Like, am I worthy? And now we feel like we bring so much value to our service that people are rebooking all the time and are just loving having the experience coming Tangles.
Yeah, for sure. Like anything that we start at the beginning, right? We're beginners at it, right? And it's always scary, but the only way to get good at something is to actually just go ahead and do it. And so how many years now for Tangles?
We just celebrated 22.
22 years.
Yeah, it's grown a lot.
And so 22 years, 2003, you opened and you were 19 years old.
I was 19.
How did that come about, right? Was it always the dream? I want to own my own salon. Like, what was the process of it? Like, how does that become a reality?
Yeah. I always did my Barbie's hair. I was always doing friends and family's hair. They let me. I had done my girlfriend's hair in Kool-Aid when we were in elementary school. And then I did my hairdressing through high school. So that got me a lot ahead. So at 19, I was already a year licensed. And I was modeling and doing a lot of hair shows and backstage. And opportunities came that they wanted me to do the next level. And the salon that I was at didn't carry that product line. So I started to look out to see if I could rent a chair or what opportunities were out. I do have 12 entrepreneurs in my family. So there's a lot of people that have taken that leap. And I had a lot of great examples in front of me. And the salon that I approached was where I had done my co-op. And so I knew it. And I went in and asked if there was an opportunity there. And the woman was like, "I don't want to be here anymore. If you make me an offer, it's yours." And at first she said no, and then it just all worked out. Wow.
That is, so you go in there and then she's like, "I'm done with this."
Yeah, she was ready to move on. Her chapter of her life wasn't with the salon, so it was a perfect opportunity. I started with literally 2 chairs. Yeah. And then we just kept growing and little bit by little bit, and now we're 11 stations and 2 spa rooms.
It sounds like the stars were aligned for you. Yeah. It was like perfect timing.
It was good timing.
And as well, too, sorry, did you say 12 entrepreneurs in your family?
Yes, there's a lot of us.
That's like extremely rare, don't you think?
Yeah, my mom has 9 brothers and sisters. And yeah, there's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so early days, you go in there, you take over the shop. It starts very, very small, but year after year, you continue to build and grow, and you've expanded 3 times in total.
At 4, we took a wall down and added another unit into the plaza.
Now, were they planned ones, or was it just like, we're bursting at the seams, we need to expand? Like, was that what the process was for that?
My dad was always helping me with the money sense in the very beginning, and it was always like, grow as you can. And when we were busting at the seams, we'd go to the landlord and be like, "Okay, what's our next step?" And he'd be like, "Well, there's a unit there coming up, or we'll bust this wall." And it just always seemed to work out.
Oh my
With
goodness.
A lot of bumps in the way, of course.
Yeah. Walk me through the expansions.
The very first one, we were, I think, 700 square feet, and we were running out of stations. We needed more space. And then we added the spa space. We had a few spa stations, but there was already a spa in the plaza. And then when she retired, I took over her unit. and I had a much bigger space. And then we were busting at the seams again, and we got a much bigger space, and we had 7 stations. And then our spa was incorporated to the hair salon, and it was a little bit loud for the spa girls. So there was some opportunity, and the space next to me was vacant. So I said, and it just happened that, so many feet of the very beginning of the plaza wasn't concrete, and we were able to break it open. So it was really meant to be.
Now, obviously, there's lots of challenges along the way, but do you feel like the right opportunities open up for you at the time that it is needed?
Yeah, I don't know if it was meant to be or luck or what it was, but every challenge we kind of just kept going through and figure out a solution. There's a way. There's a will, there's a way.
So I've seen that you've said that your dad was a big influence on you. What are some lessons that he kind of gave to you or that you've taken from him? Like, talk about that. Talk about your dad on that.
In the beginning, we would do my bookkeeping together, and he would want everything to be to the penny. And he still does part of my bookkeeping today, and he's very precision, maybe is the word. Yeah. It needs to line up right away. So where is this $2 coming? Where is this coming from? So that taught me some reinforcement about how to spend and making sure everything's paid off and what can you afford and don't go bigger than your budget. And then my mom was hard work pays off, and watching her grow. Yeah.
That's a good skill. Like
good role models.
Yeah. On that accounting side too. Like, it's so easy to I would say overlook it, or just I'll get to it later, and then it piles up, and then it's like, oh God, this number one, this sucks. And two, I feel like I'm in chaos right now. Yeah. But if you're very clear right from the very beginning, you can make better decisions with clarity. Okay. I have something here that I thought was very interesting, which is that you've become the go-to for solving gray hair challenges. Can you walk us through how you can help someone decide what's best for them?
Yeah, I do like a challenge. It's different than the same just applying basic all the time and boring. So you get to have really good conversations with someone. They really have to be ready for that step. And I often say they need to have that conversation with their family and their friends too, because I've had the situation where someone takes a year worth of growing out their hair and highlights, get it all to gray, and they decide they don't like it. So it's a good thing to have those conversations and get a feel for it. And there's test patches and there's things that you can do along the way. And like you said in the intro, there's 3 things. There's blending it, so you're embracing it. There's covering it up and just being at the salon every 4 to 6 weeks, or just go with it.
Yeah, I guess it's a case by case, right?
Yeah,
depending
and every
on the person
situation is different.
And their personality and
not every gray is the same.
True.
Yeah.
One of lots of ranges of gray, like a spectrum of gray, I guess.
If someone has really coarse hair and it's wiry, it might not be as good to manage as somebody with soft hair. Depends on how long they've been coloring it for, what color they've been coloring it. If they've been going black for years, it's going to be a lot harder than if they've been blending color their hair. So, yeah.
I love it. So walk me through what's kind of going on at the salon and spa these days, right? You had mentioned something when you first came into the office. You got new technology coming up, yes. And even walk me through some of the different tools and stuff that you have there. You're a salon and spa. There's many things going on. It's more than just cut and color what you got under your roof. So.
The hair side, we have some cool things that not sure if anyone else has in York region. So maybe I don't want to be that claim to fame quite yet. But we have freestyle blow drying systems, which is literally a blow dryer that hangs from the ceiling. And then the hairdressers aren't having to hold the weight of the blow dryer on their shoulders. And there's less cords in the way for people to step on.
So it just comes down?
Yeah. The blow dryer is literally hanging in the ceiling. So we have 5 of those. So that's really cool. We have an AI receptionist, and she's a love-hate situation.
She's still learning?
Yeah, she's still learning. But we're so busy that we can't always answer the phone right away. And she's able and capable of booking an appointment on the fly. So that's really cool. And then, of course, online booking for people that want to do that. We are a big color salon, and many of our staff have their color masters. So we can do color corrections and big consultations for people planning big transformation services. And then in the spa side, we have laser hair removal, which I don't know who invented that, but that is amazing. That every woman should take advantage of that for unwanted hair for sure. And then we're just adding an AI facial analysis. So it actually takes pictures of your skin in 4D. So you can see not only what's on the surface of your skin, but what's brewing underneath, because sun damage can take 15 years to show up. So maybe you get a bad sunburn today and think nothing of it, but later on it can show up as some deep, dark pigmentation marks. Yeah.
And that can give you the ability of like what your skin will look like untreated. Right.
And then going backwards, if we do a series of facial or add a new moisturizer or a serum to your collection, then what it can look like when it's repaired. Really cool. I
love it. So you got like, you embrace the new tech. First of all, I absolutely love that you have a AI receptionist. Like, please, like I do a lot of calls here, right? And I always think, I'm like, how can I call this business and I not talk to anyone, right? So if you can't have like a receptionist or someone there, have an AI agent be able to take my call and direct me like where I need to go, because 95% or more of the questions are always the same.
Right.
You know, like what are your hours? What can service? When can I book a time? You know, the list of it, right? And the tools and technology are there now too. And it's a better customer experience for the person. And then as well for you, the business owner too, it's super helpful.
I don't want to get left behind.
Yes.
I want to be all exciting things. Yeah.
But, you know, like a new junior employee or intern, you know, there's a learning curve up it.
Yeah.
What did I hear? Like, the AI like agents there, like a willing intern as smart as a PhD. It's like a person because they have access to all the information.
Yeah.
But all the other stuff that you got going there, like the blow dryers and stuff like that, and the like, are you just always watching? Like, where do you go to find that new stuff, right? Like, or the laser stuff. Like, where are you looking around for that? Or
spa shows, hair shows. We've been to Chicago International, obviously the Toronto one. One of our staff members went to Paris for the eyelash extension championships. So I'm heading to Vegas for a convention in 2 weeks. We got invited with Moroccan oil, so we're excited about that. 4 of our team members are going that earned the trip. So we're going to see what's new there. And I think there's some new blonding collection that's coming out. So we'll be able to bring that back to the salon.
What's Moroccan oil? A nice company? Like
they're founded. It's a Canadian brand. They're founded in Canada, and Montreal was where she was from. And they started with an oil, a hair treatment, because she had very frizzy and unruly hair. And now they have a whole collection of products. Yeah, shampoos, conditioners, treatments, styling, and they even have a body line for our spa, scrubs, and
it's always good to like get connected with a partner like that, a vendor like that you actually like and like the products and like have an actual connection with, right?
I like to be loyal. We have 2 brands with also Eminence Organic Skincare, and those are our 2 main brands, and we like,
That's amazing. So we have like the business side of it, obviously, and continue to grow and, you know, expand and bring in all these new techniques. But there's always this other element that you have of giving back, right? Mm-hmm. And you've raised a lot of money for Southlake, over $100,000 in total, which is an incredible number. Congratulations. That's absolutely amazing. Why is giving back such a big part of it? And, you know, what makes you want to do that, right? Because that's an extra thing, right? There's lots of businesses out there that are doing business, but the giving part of it is such a core part of who you are and what you do. Where does that come from?
Again, back to my heritage. I watched my grandparents live a very, fruitful lifestyle.
Yeah.
Not
fruitful.
Fruitful, is that the word? They would put duct tape on things instead of buying something new. There's a word.
Yes. I'm more terrible than you. Frugal.
Frugal.
Yes.
I watched my grandparents live a very frugal lifestyle so that they could give generously. And that meant something to me. When we'd be going to a mall with my grandma, she'd be like, do you really need that? Because someone else isn't eating dinner tonight. And then my parents, all growing up, they were doing community initiatives and volunteering. And it wasn't something that you could do. It was something you need to do. It's part of our life. So I really believe that everybody can and should do something, but that something is very different for everybody. And the salon is an avenue for me to give back. I have a community. And the salon's a hub where women get together and they want to do something to give back. So when I have my fundraiser events, people are happy to help out. And we have our next one coming up August 15th. It's called Beauty and Buzz. We're going to have some buzz cuts outside for the guys for the summer heat. And inside, we're going to do some braids and some extensions and some manicures and facials. And we're going to give all that money back to Southlake.
When's that?
August 15th. There's a shameless
15th.
plug.
Yeah, August 15th. I'm like, maybe I'll go get my hair buzzed.
Yeah, that's something fun. And it's for cancer. So we're going to give it to the Cancer Centre.
And I think it's like a good lesson for the people that are watching, listening to is when you just make like giving a part of you, right? Or a part of your business, right? You just start small, right? Like just give what you can, right? Do the small initiatives of it, right? And then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And then over a long period of time, look, the number's huge, right? But if you were to say when you first started, like, oh, let's do these fundraisers and we're going to give $100,000 to Southlake, you'd be like, that doesn't make any sense.
My first event was $6,000 and we thought that was great.
Yeah.
But then we just kept building. And I always say that people have to do what they're good at. And we say that with the staff too. The services that they're better at, those are the ones we're going to promote because then they're happier. And I somehow managed to be good at event planning and and connecting with people. And then it all just comes together.
Yeah. And, it's such a true thing. Like you've built like such a community hub around the salon and spa, right? And, your customers are deeply embedded in like kind of the culture that you have created there and that giving back. And you're right. People want to give back. They just need someone to, present them with the opportunity to be able to do that.
I say it has to be a win-win for everybody. All the women shows that I did, it had to be a win for the vendors. Obviously, Southlake was getting the money. And then the businesses were getting promotion. So that's what makes a successful event.
What was the women's show? Like, how did that come about? Like, give me the backstory of that.
So I was on the board of directors with the Chamber of Commerce, and we were too small to host a home show, and there wasn't enough manpower and interest in doing that at the time. And I had been involved in women's shows and hair shows and thought, well, and Southlake was building their building and they needed money. And I thought I could do something. There's an opportunity here. I talked to the town and used my resources, and we were able to get the hall complimentary from the town. And then I used my resources from the Chamber of Commerce, and businesses signed up and they rented tables. The first show we had 35 vendors. And I think we just got to 300 guests that came that day. And I think that event was $6,000 for Southlake. I still remember the moment my dad counting the money at the end of the day. And he was like, wow, look what we did. And then we were like, well, it was fuel to do more. Okay, well, what's the next show going to be like? And then the last show was 50 vendors. And we had a fashion show with Jessica Maroney, which is a highlight in my career because she's a fashion icon. And I got to talk about the hair of the models and their beauty. And she got to talk about the fashion. And that event, we raised $20,000. Yeah, in one day. So it was cool.
That's
right?
incredible.
I mean, it takes me a year of work to do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You can't just like whip something like that up together, right?
No.
But it shows, the hard work shows with, the amount vendors and as well the amount of traffic and then as well the amount that got raised.
What was really cool about that event is I had spent no money creating the event. Not a penny came out of the charity account. Every single thing we needed, from advertising to posters to supplies, everything was donated or volunteered or done. So that was really cool.
Shows like all the great people that make up the community, right? And that are willing to support and willing to help and be a part of something bigger. For someone that's never been to Tangles, right?
Yes.
Talk about the people that work there, the experience that they kind of give off. Just you could shout out the great people that work for you and with you.
There's a team of 8, and everyone has their own little niche, which is nice because when the receptionist is on the phone or when someone's calling in, they can say, my hair is like this. And we're like, oh, you want to book with this staff member. And that really makes it more enjoyable for the staff member. Plus, this client is getting the most experience. So that's really great. We have 2 staff members that have worked with me for over 10 years.
Wow.
A loyalty there. And we have put our staff through lots of education, lots of events, lots of fun things to go to. We have staff meetings once a month, and there's always some event or some social or something going on that we're working towards.
Love it. How do you find great people? Is it just like they just show up when they're supposed to, like a lot of things in your life, like, or are you going out and searching for people? Like, how do you build out like the team in a salon,
I think I like to think I have a reputation. I do a bonus program for my staff. So there's continuous earning, which I think is different than everybody else. So There's stability for
Same
my
thing.
staff, that they know they're going to have an income, plus there's more potential, giving them opportunities and new services all the time.
And building like the culture, right? You said like you there, it's more involved. It's not like just a place that you just go in and like I'm renting a chair and I do my thing, right? It's like you're part of the whole thing.
We grow together.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the question? Say it again.
It was about just talking about your great people that work with you.
Yeah. So when we just hired someone today, and I put an ad in Indeed, and everybody around me had said, "Oh, the industry's hard. Nobody's hiring. There's nobody's looking for work. It's not going to be." We had 18 resumes. And of course, we had to filter that through. But we're really excited about who we hired. And she's got her medical aesthetics. So there's more things that we're going to be able to promote soon. So
you just continue to grow and evolve. Like by the time you're done, you're going to own the whole plaza.
That's what my landlord says to me.
Okay, here we go. We're going to do a quick lightning round.
Oh, boy. Okay.
What is your favorite product right now?
Well, everyone has to have heat protector, because if you're using a flat iron or curling iron, you're burning your hair if you're not using a heat protector. So that, and I would have to say, if I get a second one, dry shampoo, because, we put so much time into styling our hair, it should last a few days. So those are the two big ones, and both, of course, by Moroccan Oil.
Love it. Shout out Moroccan Oil.
Yeah.
A client story that stuck out with you. Obviously, that's very difficult. 22 years, you've done a million, but a client story that has stuck out to you.
Gwen was in my chair in the very, very, very beginning. And her husband was having to drive her to downtown hospitals for cancer treatments. And that's when we did our very first fundraiser for Southlake. They were asking businesses to put bricks, like paper bricks, in their window, and just to build awareness that Southlake was building the cancer center. And she did end up passing away, but I was seeing her once a week, and you build like a connection. And I went to her funeral to say goodbye. But that really stuck with me. And that's really how I got my first foot in the door, first started with Southlake, because you could see that there was a need, instead of having to drive all the way to the city, cancer care close to home. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Dream haircut or celebrity you'd love to style?
Oh, Adele. I mean, I went to her concert when we were at the last Moroccan Oil convention in Vegas. That would be pretty amazing.
How was that Adele concert? I love Adele.
Yeah, it was. We were singing our hearts out.
Yeah. Wow.
It was
I bet that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that video of like the Adele impersonators?
Yes.
And she's one of them.
She came. Yes. And I have a yellow Jeep, like your colors. I blast her all the time, take the roof off, and I sound just like her. When the radio's just as loud as I am, it's just like her.
Yeah, so you can't tell. There's no difference.
You can't tell.
And advice for young entrepreneurs or stylists or in the hair industry or general entrepreneurs.
Get started. Practice, 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 practice. And there are so many resources. I mean, online, you can open up a video on absolutely anything you can imagine. In my very beginning, I had to do everything because I was the only hairdresser there. But now there's things that I don't book, and somebody who specializes in that can do. So find your niche, get a good mentor, because I've had so many great mentors in my life, and one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, I like that. Definitely. Lots of people, they just need to just go, right? Just start, right? You figure it out along the way.
Yeah.
Like I said at the very beginning, the only way to actually learn is just by going through it and doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for being on the show. We can leave with any final words that you want. We'll put all your information in the show notes and everything where people can find you. But if you want to leave us with closing words, a thank you, a shout out, whatever you want to the people that are watching or listening.
Well, definitely thank you for my clients who've been with me for 22 years and supported me along the way. And I think my motto is that everyone can do something to give back, but that something is different for everybody.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.